The US and the world are at war, only we just don't know it. So, this book, this Unrestricted Warfare book that came out in 1999, what it's basically about is how a weaker country can take over a more powerful country without firing a shot. And what this is it's about how China, at that time a much weaker country in 1999, could take over the United States and the Western world without firing a shot. And there's various ways. You infiltrate in many different ways. Economic warfare, biological warfare, educational warfare, governmental warfare, ideological warfare. All of these are different forms of warfare where the Chinese Communist Party has infiltrated and is waging war against us with the idea of becoming the superpower in the world by the year 2049, which is the 100-year anniversary of their takeover of China. So, and they declared in 2016, the Chinese Communist Party in 2016 declared a people's war against the United States. So they know that they're at war with us, and we are being very naive to just think that we're not. We are at war right now. So I want to just give one example of this kind of unrestricted warfare, the kind that came through the World Health Organization and that is continuing through the next pandemic. You know that the World Economic Forum, one of their big talks was about disease X, which, by the way, is a hypothetical disease. There is no disease called disease X, and it's supposed to be massively more infectious than the COVID-19 was, which gives them the pretext for installing a biotech surveillance state to save the world, as they would say. Here's how they're going to do it. I'm going to delve into a little bit about the actual WHO international health regulations and the pandemic treaty so you can understand the mechanics of this. So I'm a lawyer, and I was reading these documents with a legal eye. So in the internet, and by the way, these international health regulation amendments and the pandemic treaty are scheduled to be voted on at the World Health Assembly in May of this year, just a few months from now. So we have to raise the visibility of this issue. And actually, what I would also say is this. By forcing a vote in May, they are violating their own rule in the international health regulations. There is Article 55 says that all amendments to the international health regulations have to be made public, or at least be disclosed to the different nation states 4 months in advance. That deadline passed on January 27th. It looks to me like they're just going to be negotiating it right up to the actual World Health Assembly. And what that does is it makes it so that we don't know what they're thinking about, we don't know what they're voting on, we have no ability to comment on it. And I think that they're doing that because they know that there would be an outcry if they made it public ahead of time. So they're basically going to ambush the World Health Assembly on the spot. But I think that the way that we can combat this is by demanding that this be delayed, because delay is victory. Delay is victory. I feel like we are in basically a race with the globalists, where they're trying to snap this trap shut before people become aware that they're even in a trap. So let me tell you what this trap is, all right? So first of all, in the international health regulations, the last time they made them public, there are many, many problematic things, but one of the most problematic things is they want the ability to mandate health care in the case of either a pandemic or even a potential pandemic or any health concern. So it's a public health emergency of international concern, PHEIC, which I think is appropriately pronounced fake. So, when there's a fake, they are going to be able to take over, and one of the things that they want to be able to do is to tell every country, including the United States, exactly what we must do and must not do in terms of health care, so they will be able to say you cannot prescribe certain things that your doctor wants to prescribe, that things will be best for you, and you must prescribe other things. Like, for example, they want the power to have to order mask mandates, order vaccine mandates, order. That's what they want to do. Okay?
I'm a nurse, and I am not going to follow that shit.
Do not comply. Do not comply. Do not comply. And then if you go against it, if a doctor goes against it, then they can lose their license. So, you know, I mean, we actually have a doctor here, Meryl Nast, sitting right here, who's been through this and was very heroically trying to get people the medication she knew would save their lives. And boy, is she paying for it with the medical board. But what they did is they unleashed a lion. Because by taking her out of the practice of medicine, she's going to take them down internationally, I think. So, yeah, thank you, Meryl. So there are many other problems in the international health regulations. I want to also move on to the pandemic treaty. Now they are refusing to call this a treaty. They call it an accord. They call it an instrument. They call it a convention. They're refusing to call it a treaty because they don't want it to go through the U.S. Senate because they know it's going to die there. Okay, they would need a 2/3 vote. But what I'm saying to you is it is a treaty, because a treaty is just a binding agreement between two nations or between multiple nations. And the World Health Organization itself has said this is binding. This is a binding agreement. It's a treaty. It must be treated as a treaty, and we need to call it a treaty at all times. So one of the things that is in both the international health regulations and also the pandemic treaty, and by the way, I just want to say this. The international health regulation amendments are also a treaty. They are also a treaty because they have axed out the words non-binding, and they are obligating. They want to be over the United States, over the rest of the world, telling us what to do. That is an absolute abrogation of our national sovereignty and our personal medical freedom, and I believe that the international health regulation amendments also need to pass through the Senate. Amen. So, okay, in both of these we have something. We have surveillance. Surveillance is in both of these agreements, and so the pretext for the surveillance is we need to know right away if there's somebody who's sick. You know, so that we can immediately call it a fake and shut everybody down, basically. So what they want to do is they want to surveil us on the basis of the one health approach. One health approach sounds very innocuous. It's like the human health is connected to animal health, is connected to plant health, is connected to the environment. That's true, right? Okay. But what they're doing is they are using that as a pretext to be able to surveil everything regarding human health, animal health, plant health, and the environment. Okay? So this is a massive surveillance. And how are they going to accomplish this surveillance? All right? They're going to accomplish it through what used to be called vaccine passports. But now I'm a co-founder with Frank Gaffney of the Stop Vaccine Passports Task Force, and we managed to make that nomenclature toxic or radioactive. And so now they call it a digital ID, a neutral term. No. No. Okay. So if you go on the World Economic Forum website, you will see a chart about digital IDs, about everything that they are planning that we will need a digital ID in order to do, such as... Well, okay, yes, yeah, okay, you need it to access health care, so you will need it to have a bank account and carry on financial transactions. You'll need it to travel or for mobility, like, taking the bus. You will need it to vote. You will need it to pay taxes. You will need it to engage in social media, all right, so which means that if you don't have it, then you will not be able to engage in any aspect of civilized society. So we have to just say no to digital IDs. Just say no to digital IDs. And I want to say something else about these digital IDs. they are going to be amassing data on all of us into a centralized place so that we will live under a regime similar to the China social credit system. This is the China model coming to the United States and to the whole world. So in China, I'm trying to see how much time I have. Oh my goodness, my timer went off. I only have 1 minute? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't, okay. I have so much more to say. Yeah, see us at the booth. All right, so anyway, we don't want the China social credit system. These digital IDs are what will enable it to happen. And there's much more that I can talk about here, but I just want to talk about a few solutions. I mean, if you feel like this is closing in on us, it is, all right? And the World Health Organization and the European Union have already launched these digital IDs internationally. And so what we need to do is not comply, and we need to make our opposition known to our representatives. So if the Sovereignty Coalition has an Align Act, go to sovereigntycoalition.org, sovereigntycoalition.org, and let them know that you want to defund the WHO. You want to, that's the solution. Defund the WHO, yeah, and also withdraw from the WHO, and that will go straight to your representatives. It's incredibly effective, and I don't have time to even talk about the solutions that we've had or the successes that we've had. But I also want to say that one person can do a lot. So, for example, Frank's stole my. Well, I mean, I was going to mention that I was talking to Bill Walton here, and I said, this resolution that that CPAC has taken, again, that we should withdraw and defund the World Health Organization. I mean, are you responsible for that? And he said, yeah, I guess so. But that's huge. Do you understand? This could cause a sea change. For just the ripple effect of it going up.
It's not defund, it's exit.
Okay, exit. Okay, I said defund it.
If we defund, we're still bound by the vote.
No, I understand. No, I said defund and withdraw from, also exit. Withdraw from,
get
exit.
Out of it.
Yeah, right, get out of the WHO. Defang, defund.
Yes.
Okay.
We gotta get out of it.
And the last thing I've got to say, because I've got to go, is I'm taking this, internationally with the Anti-Globalist Alliance, because it's not just the United States, it's the whole world. So please look up antiglobalist.net, antiglobalist.net, and we have a manifesto. It's tremendous, and we are in the process of launching that. So once we have to stand up now, we only have about 3 months till this vote comes down, and once we've ceded our sovereignty, it'll be basically impossible to get it back. So don't delay, act now. Thank you.
Thank you.